Hi everyone, it's Hatsy and I'm back with another speed build in The Sims 4, and this time we are building with the new expansion pack, Sims 4 Cats and Dogs. So I got to build this when I went to San Francisco, and I went about 3 months now, I think, but I'm not great on timing, so I'm probably really wrong with that. It was probably like 2 months, and I've got it just completely, confused. However, I got to build this, and this is a build that I decided to do with the time that I had. I didn't get much footage of the other stuff, so I had about 10 minutes of gameplay, and then I spent about an hour just building the exterior of this. But it's actually a collab with one of my best friends, W.Steph0Sims. If you know her channel, I'm pretty sure that you probably do. So she's doing the interior of this, and it turned out to look absolutely incredible. I don't think that like everything was finished, but the stuff that she did was just amazing. So I'll show like a clip at the end, like a tiny little, probably like 10-15 second clip of just kind of the stuff to expect. But yeah, please go and check out the interior that she did, because it's going to be really good, and it will be linked in the description. So this build, what did I think of the world? Because now I can kind of talk about it a little bit and tell you my thoughts on it a bit more in depth, because Create a Sim, yeah, you can really only talk about Create a Sim in Create a Sim. That's pretty much like what we had explained to us. But when it comes to gameplay now, we can talk about gameplay, which is brilliant. So I really like the items that we get with build mode. We get a lot of new stuff, and it's going to be amazing for like Hamptons, mansions and things like that, because a lot of the houses in the world are that kind of style. And we get like a lot of new roofing things as well. Like you'll notice that I created a lot of like cool roofing in this build. We get like octagonal roofs, and we get some other like circular roofs, which I'm considering rebuilding Hogwarts after that, or at least going back and doing something with it, because that would be just really cool. And yeah, maybe I'll just like replace the roofing or something, do a renovation in like a couple of weeks after I get it. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. Build mode, they did really well, and I was happy with the amount of items, because I don't know, you kind of expect that for Sims 4 Pets, like the biggest feature is going to be pets, of course, but I was really happy about like how many things they included, and the world is so pretty. The world's so much prettier in my opinion than like San Myshuno or like any of the other worlds that we've got with expansion packs before. This is like way up my alley. And I like Windenburg as well, but this is prettier than Windenburg in my opinion. I think the lighting's better, and I think it's going to be better for building, and it's just more scenic. They've put a lot of detail into it, and it's also huge. There are lots of different places in the world as well. Like the areas look entirely different. I mean, you get areas in Windenburg like that where everything's split, but a lot of the countryside just looks like the countryside, whereas here you get like the bit by the lake, you get the bit on the land, you get the bit just, okay, it's just very lovely. And I would have actually done a video going around the whole world if I had enough time, but I really didn't. So the time that I got to spend on it, I wanted to just go straight onto build mode. And please remember as well, I was under a great amount of pressure whilst building this, like so much pressure. And it was fun though. Like I did have a lot of fun building this, and Steph and I built a lot of the exterior together, which was fun as well, because I had my friend there to kind of say, hey, you should do this and you should do that. And I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I actually think it's one of my best builds, just because of how pretty it looks. And I would go as far as to say this is a dream house, because I'd live here, honestly, I would. But I think, well, it's the first house that I built with the expansion, so it's not going to be the best, which says something. So I'm going to be building lots of family houses, like lots of mansions and things, and I will do a Hamptons mansion at some point. So you just have to like wait and see. But I think you're going to like it. And there's a lot of stuff. I did also use some items from other expansions whilst building this, because I was limited on time, and I didn't even want to think about restraining myself on like what packs to use. Is that the right word? Restricting, not restraining. Restricting myself, like when it came to packs, because if I did, it would have just been too complicated. And I don't want to say that, oh yeah, this is all, you know, base game and sort of the pack, because it's hard. It's very hard under pressure to build. I don't take pressure very well. Like if we had all day to sit down and build something, I could have done a really sort of detailed build with all the new items and then showed you around the world and stuff. But yeah, I got an hour, like, and that was pretty much it, I think, in terms of stuff. Well, I got an hour to build, and then later on when people were leaving, that's when I jumped on a computer. I got 10 minutes of gameplay footage, and I got about 15 minutes of Create a Sim footage. Yeah, it was chaos. But I think a lot of people were in the same boat as me, because I think what happened was some people came for Sims Mobile, some people came for like console, and then some people came for pets. But what ended up happening was like a lot of people went to pets because that's what like a lot of people are interested in, but there just wasn't enough computers for everyone. So like some people got loads of footage and then some people got like hardly any. In fact, some people like had to come back the next day because they got like nothing. And I think a lot of people's footage got corrupted as well, which is so annoying. And I'm just so happy that didn't happen to me, because knowing my luck, like that is exactly the kind of thing that would happen to me. But there we go. So where did I get the inspiration for this build? I didn't actually get like any inspiration from anywhere. Like I didn't have any pictures in front of me of Hamptons mansions or anything like that, because I don't even think I had my phone on me. My phone was constantly on charge. Yeah, I remember that. Like in the middle of Sims camp, my phone was linked up to one of the chargers for the iPads, just because my phone is awful on battery. I don't know what it is. I actually was reading about this conspiracy theory because I love conspiracy theories. So there's this conspiracy theory that as soon as Apple launch a new iPhone, all the other iPhones stop working, which is really crazy, because I've started to notice that like since the new iPhone was released, I think, well yeah, my phone's been playing up, and like it happened as soon as, maybe they have some kind of like technology that makes them stop working all at once. Wow, I can't. It's too much. I love conspiracy theories. So yeah, if you have any good ones, always send them through, because I love reading stuff like that. And ghost stories, they're my thing. In fact, I'm just about to tell a ghost story in a little bit. So this video will come out probably before my ghost story. Yeah, so that's what I'm recording next on the channel. But I'll talk about that like when it actually comes to it. So that'll be good. Yeah, so anyway, new windows and stuff, because I'm going to try and talk about the build as much as possible in this one, just because it's a special occasion. I usually go off on tangents and talk about like really random stuff. Like I think the last build I did was two granddads fighting in a seed shop. Just why? I don't know. I don't even know how it got to that, but hey, it does. What can I say? But the windows I'm particularly excited for. As much as you can be excited about windows, I'm excited about the windows. And I like the fact that this house is really open. It's got loads of decking. I don't think I've ever seen a house like this before. It's just really detailed, in my opinion. I was saying to my friend Kayla earlier, because we did a Discord chat for a podcast. Like I was saying, why don't we like design some of this stuff? I mean, why does no one ask us? This was like after the Discord, so if you do watch the podcast that me and my friend did, you probably won't have heard this, because we stayed online for like an hour after just talking. We were saying like, why does no one sort of say like, hey, do you want to build some houses? Because I'd love to, like genuinely, I would love to build houses. I mean, the thing is, the houses that I build are very heavy on landscaping and stuff, so I'd have to massively tone them down. But even just doing like the basic build structures and putting them in the worlds, I would be absolutely fine with that, because like I could do it easy. I mean, this build took me an hour to do the exterior, which is pretty good going, especially being like under pressure and then trying to figure out like all the different colors of new items we get, and like I've never used these roofs before, so it's stressful. And then I'm also very aware that, you know, people are going to watch this video and then they're going to get an impression about the new expansion pack, and I want it to look good, I want to do it justice, and it's just tough. I didn't play a lot of the Sims 4 console though. I did play the Sims 4 mobile, but I didn't get any footage of it because honestly, like, I couldn't even figure out how to. I actually couldn't. I just watched my friends playing it and that was good enough for me. So I had a lot of fun with the roofing. I tried to make it look, like Hamptons inspired, and the kind of family I'd imagine to live here. Oh my goodness. Probably a big family, maybe a family of 4 or 5, and then cats and dogs probably. Or maybe they'd own a fox. That could be the twist. So they could be really into foxes. Oh, strange thing. I think I spoke about this a while ago though, but I'm not sure. But I saw a fox the other day. And it was when I went to this psychic reading. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What were you doing at a psychic reading? I don't know myself, but I can tell you that everything that the woman told me was completely wrong. Like, nothing's happened like that. She said that I'd find a 50-year-old friend, and I haven't found one of those yet. She was really specific. She said that I was about to meet a friend in my life that would be really helpful, but they'd also be really dull, but they'd be helpful. And no, that just hasn't happened. So yeah, she lied. But when I was there, for like some random reason, there was a man with a fox, and the fox was tame, and I've never actually seen a fox that close up before. So it was interesting. But then what happened was my house keys went missing, and I thought that I left them there, but then I figured out that I didn't. They actually just slipped down the side of my radiator. So that's interesting. It's not very interesting, I know. But I don't know what else to say about the expansion. I honestly don't. Oh, this part. Let me explain. I didn't know what to do with the front landscaping there, so I decided to just mold some stuff in the front. But everyone was walking past and laughing because it didn't look its best at this point. Everyone was like, what did you do? We get some really cool trees. I like the greenness of them. I think that was one of my comments. That was a really weird comment to make. I think one of the gurus walked past and was like, oh, so what do you think? And I just, because I was half sort of, like into the build, like really into building it at that point. I just turned around and I said, I like the greenness of the trees. And then I just carried on, and I think they probably thought, okay, yeah, well, that's Hattie. I probably won't speak to her again because she's a bit strange. But that was it. I get really into things though. That's the problem. Like, people were coming up and they were like asking me about the build, saying, oh, so how long does it take you to build stuff like this? And etc., etc. Like, how long have you been building for? And this and that. And I was answering the questions, but I was probably sounding really weird and vague at the same time because I was just so into it. And I did use the flowers from, what pack is that? I can't even remember. But I wanted to use things that emphasized the items from the new expansion. If I'm honest, I think that works nicely because most of the time, people that buy the expansion packs often have like 1 or 2 stuff packs or game packs at least. So at least you can see what they look nice with and like what complements each other sort of thing, which is great. So I hope that that's all right, that I did do that. It's tough. It's so tough to just use the expansion pack and the base game. I will do a mansion like that though if you want me to, but I will have to be under less pressure. I just don't handle pressure well. I don't. In fact, this was weird, but like when I used to go to school, like everybody in my class used to refer to me as the arty one, like the one that can do art, the one that's good at art. And I remember there was this competition and it was like a pretty big award. It was something like you got free theatre tickets to go and see The Lion King, and you got a box, things like that, and you won some money as well. It was like a big deal. You know, it was the kind of thing that you go home and then you'd say, oh my goodness, you never guessed what I won, and then your parents would be really proud of you. So anyway, I entered this competition, but they only gave you 30 minutes to draw the lion out of The Lion King and make a poster and stuff like that. And I just didn't even know where to start. So I was just sat there, just blank for about 20 minutes. And then the last 10 minutes, I just rushed it and it looked really bad. And I just remember thinking, oh, like I've ruined my chance. And I did. I did ruin my chances. But I just can't handle pressure. You know, if I was given a few hours or they didn't give me a specific time, then I'd be fine. But just something about deadlines and stuff, which just makes me lose all my artistic ability. That's what I feel like with this. But I mean, I don't know. I'm proud of it, but I think I could have done a much better job if I didn't have the pressure, because pressure's awful. Oh, this is interesting. So we get some new items for the expansion, and this is like a training grounds, and I thought this would be a really cute idea to have here, and I think I left it like this in the end. So maybe the people that live here are really into like training animals like cats and dogs. I think it's just dogs that can be trained, but I'm honestly not sure. I can't imagine a cat going through that because cats are so independent, and it would take a lot of skill to train a cat, to be honest. I did see somebody that used to walk their cat though, that was weird. Like, in a good way, as in, I have a lot of respect for people that walk their cats, because, yeah, I couldn't do that with mine. No, he wouldn't. In fact, he used to sit down when I would put the lead on, because when we moved house, because, like, originally he lived in England and then we moved into Switzerland, he was trying to get used to the outdoor area, but we wanted to make sure that he could get used to it but not run off, because, you know, cats are very independent. So he had to wear a lead for the first couple of months just to go, you know, outside and stuff and, like, go to the loo. But we'd take him out, like, a lot of times a day and just go and sit outside with him. But he hated it, honestly. He would growl and, like, try and get out of it. It was bad. It was a rough time, but he's fine now. He really likes it, so that's good. So yeah, working on the back bit, got some items here from the pack as well. I love the chairs, and I tried to use some of the rugs as well, some of the indoor items outside, because I like using the rugs there and stuff like that. The plants are really pretty too. I can't remember if I left that slide there, but I'm pretty sure that that's not from the expansion, that's from a different pack. But that would still look really nice in your world, and to kind of show you what you could put there, then hey, that works. And I think I was just finishing off at this point, just putting around some soil. But I did enjoy Sims Camp, I really did. I mean, you'll have probably heard a lot of the stories that I've spoken about it. I think I've, like, pretty much been worn out of all stories. And I just spent about 30 minutes on the podcast with Kayla just talking about stories from Sims Camp, which was really cool. So yeah, like, that'll be on there as well if you do want to hear more stories. So I think by this point, we were almost ready to go on to the inside of the build, which will be on my friend Steph's video. Please go and check it out, because it will be amazing. Like, honestly, she's so good at interior, so much better than me at interior builds. And yeah, should be great. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.